Hey everyone, I'm back, and today we're going to be talking about Biutiful, and this movie is directed by Alejandro Gonzalez Iñárritu, if I pronounce that correctly. I always have no idea. But this was just on Amazon Prime. It wasn't a movie that I had to rent, it was just there that I could just watch, and it was a movie that was on my watch list already, and I thought this one was great, and I've thoroughly enjoyed all of his movies, or at least the ones that I've seen. I haven't seen 21 Grams or Amoros Perros yet, but I've yet to see one that I didn't like, and it pretty much has all the things that I love about his movies in it already. Like the performances are really great, including the child performances, especially the one little girl. I thought she was great, and never felt too distracting to me. And Javier Bardem, I thought was really great in this movie, and it's crazy to see him in this. And just a few years before this, he was in No Country for Old Men, and he does a great job in both movies. And it's a very different character in this movie, and he pulls it off very well. And the characters in this movie were pretty interesting to me, and I thought this movie was going to be very straightforward and simple, but somehow I was surprised by the amount of things going on in this movie. There's a lot of characters that you have to keep track of, and it's pretty much just a race against time in a sense, and just all these things going wrong, and you're just trying to hope for the best because of the amount of time that you have left, and you're just doing the best you can, and I really love that about the movie, and I did like how this movie presented itself, and I do like the tone of the film. It's not just one thing, and overall, it's kind of sad and in a way hopeless and depressing, and it does work as that. And I feel as though any emotions it was trying to get at works. When we get to certain beats in the story, it always feels natural because the characters are well realized. If I'm going to have any issues with this movie, it would not necessarily be that it's just not the kind of movie that I would want to see again, simply because of the tone of it and not being like something that you would rewatch every day, like for the average person, I would imagine. I just want to get into that a little more. And what I mean by that is the type of film that would be categorized as, like, I don't know, Schindler's List, where I feel as though the average person would not want to rewatch that as soon as they would want to rewatch Jurassic Park. Like, I feel as though that's what the average person would do. I myself don't take issue with that. I could watch Schindler's List whenever I want because I think it's a great movie, and that's the same thing for this. But one thing that I kind of felt about it that was dragging it down for me was that I just felt as though the movie was too long, and I just can do it without 15 to 20 minutes. It was mostly just the pacing for me, in which it was kind of falling apart a little. But overall, I do feel as though where things end up is satisfying, and I do like how everything is presented. And I was thinking a little bit of The Wrestler from 2008 by Darren Aronofsky while watching this movie. It just reminded me of that a little bit, but I do feel as though this is such a different movie from that in the sense that it has way more going on in it, and it's not nearly as simplistic as The Wrestler, in my opinion. Or at least from memory. I could rewatch that movie and be like, wow, there's a lot more going on in this movie than I remember, but comparatively speaking, from memory, I feel as though way more is going on in this movie than The Wrestler. And there were parts in this movie that genuinely surprised me when they showed up, and I wasn't expecting it at all, and it just caught me off guard, and I thought it was great whenever it did do that. And the music was also great in this film as well. I was happy to know that it wasn't overusing the music from memory, but it was also adding a lot whenever it was present. Like, I don't think of this movie with a lot of music. I do, however, feel as though the parts that do have music help it out. And one thing that I do want to mention, it's just one last thing, going back to the characters a little bit. There's a lot of characters in this movie, and while I did say that the movie is too long, I will say it wasn't because of the amount of characters that were in the movie. in a weird way that kind of enhanced the experience because of how much was going on. And it just added to the chaotic situation that we're in. And I just felt as though the approach to do that was a good idea. And that's about all I have to say about Biutiful. I thought it was great. It was really enjoyable for me. I do have other movies from this director that I prefer, but still really enjoyed this one. And I would definitely recommend if you like his movies, for sure. And I'll probably come back to this at some point, most likely when I come back to rewatch all of his movies and I want to do a ranking at some point. And I am looking forward to his newest movie, Digger, which is coming out later this year. And it sounds interesting to me, so I'll check that out when I get the chance. But do check this movie out. I think it's worth your time. And with all that being said, I'm going to give Biutiful an 8 out of 10. Thank you for watching my videos. As always, if you enjoyed this review, be sure to leave a like and comment down below you thought Biutiful, and my social media links, they will all be in the description, so follow me there. And last but not least, subscribe to be a part of Foley Nation, and I'll see you when I get my next review up, and that is going to be for Thor from 2011. So look forward to that, but until I get that up, thank you for watching and have a great day.